All right, let's get right to tying. We are going to tie up a Perdigon. This is a Firestarter. I like to call it a UV Firestarter because we just kind of do something just a little bit different than normal. But we're going to go ahead and just get our thread attached, take it all the way back to the bend of the hook so we can get our tail tied in. Nothing too crazy about this fly. It's a pretty quick tie. And it starts off with your typical Perdigon tail of some CDL. To get those tied in and then just pull them to the length that I like. Somewhere about there looks good. And then I like to try to get my thread as flat as can be to wrap this body. I'm going to do one thing a little bit different with this pattern. I'm going to use this Perdigon flash as a ribbing on this just to see if we can't get a little bit more flash out of this pattern. Just for fun. You don't have to add this with this pattern. You're going to get a lot of flash out of it no matter how it's tied up. So just get that thread nice counterclockwise spin so that we can get it nice and flat. All right, after building up the body how you like it, we'll just get some ribbing on this. Just for a little extra fun with this fly. Like I said, I don't think this is necessary, but a little extra flash never hurt anything. So now with that flash tied in there, we can just whip finish and get to our next thread. Which we're going from that fluorescent orange thread to a hot orange thread to make a hot spot collar. Just going to get that attached. I like to bring that tag forward and wrap back a few times before trimming that out. And we're just wanting to build up just a little bit of a hot spot collar. And then we can come in and give it a nice whip finish. Trim that off really close. Now we can come in here with what I like to change, and that's adding this fluorescent orange Solar Res UV resin on it, a nice thin coating. So this is a fairly translucent, UV resin. You don't want to add a bunch of bulk to this fly, but this does add a really nice UV quality to all of the body and the thread wraps and all of that stuff, which I think can help separate this fly from everything else. Everyone else's flies, everything else floating down the river. With any of your Perdigons, it's always a good idea to add a wing case. So this is just some Solarez black UV resin. Just want to slowly add that. We have a nice little blob. I like to turn it upside down so gravity kind of helps keep it a nice wing case. In there with the UV light, get it set up for you. So you have a nice wing case there on top of the fly. Then the last thing to do is just come in here with the Solarez bone dry and give it everything a nice super thin coating. Like you almost want this brush to be dry. So you're barely getting a coating of this bone dry on this pattern. Just enough to give everything a nice finish coat. Hit it with the UV light again. And now, with that UV fluorescent orange base UV resin, that's why I like to call this the UV Firestarter. So go ahead and grab some materials, a bunch of UV resin, try this fly out, let us know how it works. Thanks for watching.